Hey everybody, welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. My name is Wing Supernova, and in this episode, we're gonna break this case wide open. Let's fucking go.
Hold it!
Oops. God damn it. Immediately press the wrong button. That is the bread and butter of me playing video games. It's like, yo, let's fucking go. I can't wait to do this, and then I just immediately fuck it up. Skip, 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 skip. Get out of my face. I don't like you. All I want is for you to get out of here. Oh, I'm supposed to be reading this because this is new dialogue. Really, always turns up just at the right moment. Does he always come in the form of a pouch? Seriously though, it sounds like the great detective was on death's door. But maybe his injuries won't be for nothing. That pouch could be a very valuable clue. Now we can press this person again and get to the point in her press that is like, if there's a third bullet, then I could be persuaded. I can actually prove it now. Allow me to show you then the third bullet. Present the third bullet.
Take that!
Oh, there's the cocky grin again. Here it is. We discovered it just now. Yes, on the night in question in Windabank's pawnbrokery, another bullet was fired.
Hold it!
What is this new trickery, you Nipponese conjurer? Where did you find that bullet? It was lodged inside Mr. Sholmes's pouch. What? This pouch was removed from around Mr. Sholmes's waist before he was taken to the hospital. And since then, it has been touched by no one. Do you mean to say the shot fired by the Skulkin brothers that night? Yes, as your lordship has surmised, it hit this pouch. But that makes no sense whatsoever. We already know the whereabouts of the bullet fired at Mr. Sholmes. It's clearly visible in this photographic print. Two guns from the scene have already been submitted into the court record as evidence. Yes. Oh, yes, that of Mr. Windabank, and that belonging to the Skulkin brothers. And examination of both guns revealed that only a single bullet had been fired from each. But that must mean... That's right. We now know that on the night in question, 3 bullets were fired. However, only 2 bullets were fired from the guns recovered from the crime scene, and until that incontrovertible inconsistency is somehow explained, we cannot and must not pass judgment. Ugh. Ah. Order. While the summation examination remains incomplete, the court has been presented with new facts. Facts that would appear to shake the very foundations upon which the case against the defendant has been built. As is my prerogative in this situation, I hereby temporarily suspend the summation examination. By Jupiter! What? Bailiff, bring the witnesses back to the stand at once. Witnesses. Governor! We were listening to proceedings while the defense carried out the summation examination. We was, Governor, we was. Perhaps we can dispense with the tedious preamble. Simply answer this one question. A third bullet has been identified at the scene of the crime. What do you make of that? Make of it, Gov? I don't make nothing of nothing if I can help. Is it one of yours? Go blimey, Gov. Go blimey. Not a chance. In that case, did you have an accomplice? What? What? Never. The Skulkin brothers work alone. It's just the 2 of us. That's our trademark. How soon we forget poor Sulky. Only 2 of the bullets from the crime scene originated from the firearms we have in evidence. The third bullet was fired from another gun. Where is it?
Lummy, that's an head-scratcher.
Counsel for the defense. Yes? I should like to hear your thoughts regarding these new developments. The third bullet, and the mysterious missing firearm from whence it came. Thinking back over all the testimony we've heard and all the evidence we've seen, I think I'm starting to form a picture of what really happened that night. My lord, I think it's clear what this third bullet tells us about the Skulkin brothers. I think they had a secret accomplice. On that night at Windibank's pawnbrokery, the brothers must have been working with a third man. The witnesses are clearly doing their best to cover up the existence of this accomplice, but the evidence all points to the fact that there was someone else present, someone carrying a gun.
Objection!
An accomplice, you say? Pig swill. These protracted proceedings have already forced us to endure 2 summation examinations. Yet in all that time there has been not a murmur of a third man. This apparently wraith-like being exists. The court must be shown hard evidence. Without it, this fantasy will be crushed. The prosecution demands answers on 2 counts. Firstly, proof, evidence that this accomplice was ever at the scene of the crime. And secondly, the identity of the spurious character. The Skulkins are lying, I know that. But how can I ascertain the identity of the person they're hiding? Well, counsel? I'm supposed to prove the existence of this accomplice and reveal the person's identity even. In response to the prosecution's demands, my lord, the defense is... I mean, I think we can prove that there was a third man there. But I don't know if we can prove who they are. I mean, this is where the music disc comes into play. And we don't know whose blood is on the music disc, but we do know that McGilded was in possession of it. And then Gina was in possession of it. But there was also, at a time period, a point where that man was in possession of it. Right? The man being this guy, Egert Benedict. Because he had a hurt... Didn't he have a hurt hand or something like that? At least I thought he did. I thought he had a wound somewhere. If he had a wound somewhere on his hand, then it's potential... I don't remember the complete details. I think that it's possible that he had his hand on the music disc. Because I can't think of anyone else in this list of people that we have that could have had their hand on the disc at any given point. But I'm pretty sure that he had. I'm gonna save if I haven't already. I actually did. I'm gonna say ready to present answers. Let's see what we can do. The defense is ready. I believe I can provide all the answers the prosecution demands. So, my Nipponese friend, despite the swimming eyes, you seem to think you have something to say. This promises to be interesting. I have to push forward now. There's no other option. I need to use every single piece of evidence available to me if it will make a difference. In that case, counsel, I would ask you to present the evidence without delay. On the night in question, in the moments leading up to the death of the victim, What proof have you that there was a third intruder present at the scene? I would say it's the blood analysis.
Take that!
The evidence is right here, in this portfolio. By Jove, that portfolio again, is it? Do you expect the court to rifle through your papers itself? Be more specific. You claim one of those blood samples proves the existence of this third intruder. Well, which one is it? I would say it's this one.
Take that!
What am I looking at here? There appears to be some green paint or such like around the bullet hole in the middle of the calendar. That's a blood stain, my lord. A blood stain? Green blood. Curious even for you. Is the court to understand that the intruder was some unhuman creature? It's something developed by Mr. Herlock Sholmes.
By the great detective!
No invention, stop! Not yet appeared in stories, stop!
It's this, you see. It doesn't have a name yet, though. This fogger sprays a chemical that reacts with the different elements in people's blood to change its color.
Different elements of people's blood?
Yes, everyone's blood is slightly different, you see, because it's made up of different elements. So by seeing what color it changes to, you can tell in a flash whose blood it is. Ooh, that brings a whole extra dimension into looking at blood.
Talk of blood in courtroom, stop! Very exciting, stop! Dude, fucking calm down. As an example, this one shows the blood of the victim, Mr. Windibank. Ah, striking blue. Yeah, so you see, the green color of this bloodstain on the calendar shows that somebody else was shot in the main part of the shop. Now hold fire there, young man. Could be from some unrelated incident, couldn't it? No, it's not unrelated. The date showing on the calendar is the date on which Mr. Windibank was killed. By golly! Therefore, we can assume that whoever was shot on the same day. Then whose blood is it? Well, the Skulkin brothers in the stand don't appear to be suffering from any gunshot injuries. Which means it must be the blood of somebody else. The third intruder, in fact.
Objection!
Whose identity the court is still waiting to hear. You can't delay this any longer, my learned friend. Who is this alleged third intruder? I'm gonna go with Egbert Benedict.
Take that!
The man's name is Egbert Benedict.
Egbert Benedict? Who on earth are you talking about, counsel?
He paid a visit to Windibank's pawnbrokery on the afternoon before the incident took place. When the accused attempted to deceive the pawnbroker into releasing this article into her possession. That's right. The man identified by the defense, Mr. Egbert Benedict, then attempted to take the article from the defendant by force. I don't even remember his voice. Broker.
Yes, sir?
I believe this filthy pocket thief has just redeemed an article from you, no?
Yes,
The article in question belongs to me. I demand for it to be returned at once.
Now that's a lie. What are you trying to pull?
Give me back my overcoat, you wastrel, and needless to say, any music box discs, too. Inspector Gregson was there at the time and can attest to what happened. In the end, it was the inspector himself who took the disc.
Can you corroborate this account, Inspector?
Yes, my lord. That's more or less what happened. And in the interest of being thorough, I asked Windibank for a print showing the fellow. Taken from one of his red-handed recorder gubbinses. Yes, that's him talking to Mr. Windibank that morning.
And you claim this man is the brother's accomplice?
Well, Mr. and Mr. Skulkin.
Never seen the geezer before in my life.
On me life, Gov, on me life. Never seen him. somewhat unsurprisingly, it appears our witnesses disagree with the assertion.
I'm sure your lordship recalls my learned Nipponese friend's actual assertion, which was that he could prove the identity of the alleged accomplice. Yes, and I can.
Then show us the evidence! I agree. We must see proof that the clean-cut gentleman in the photograph is the filthy criminal you say he is.
It's the blood samples again, right? This is the last piece of evidence. I've had a feeling that something has been missing in this trial from the very start. But now, I'm going to drag it kicking and screaming into the courtroom.
Are you ready to present your answer to the court, then, counsel?
Yes, my lord. The defense will present the evidence now. Proof that the man pictured in this photographic print was in fact the person struck by the third bullet. Well, I can remove the scene. It's the blood analysis again, right? The blood samples.
Take that!
The proof is right here, in this portfolio.
Good gracious, counsel. Does that portfolio contain the answers to every question posed?
I see you share my interest in claret-colored liquids, my Nipponese friend. But enough. The court demands to see further evidence. Which blood sample proves the man you identified was the one shot by the third bullet at the scene of the crime? It's this one.
Take that!
As I mentioned before, on the afternoon of the day in question, the defendant attempted, deceitfully admittedly, to reclaim this disc from Windibanks.
Which is when
the
aforementioned Egbert Benedict appeared on the scene, I believe.
I keep mixing up his voice. I think it's because I've been talking for so long.
This man then attempted to purloin the article from the defendant's possession, no?
That's correct, my lord. I myself was present at the time. It was following this that a minor incident occurred.
But of course, sir. Here is the disc for you.
Very well. Then I shall bid you farewell. Say goodbye to style.
Wait a minute. That disc is mine.
Ah, what do you think you're doing, you little tramp? You've drawn blood, you filthy animal. Being a music box disc, it has countless small but sharp metal protrusions over its surface. Those protrusions caused Mr. Benedict's finger to bleed, and the resulting smear of blood is still visible on the disc now.
Goodness, a blood stain, is it?
My assistant and I have just analyzed the bloodstain here in this very courtroom.
Using my trusty Fokker gun.
Yes, and we added the results to this portfolio.
I say!
It's green.
It's exactly the same color as the blood around the calendar.
The evidence is conclusive. The man calling himself Mr. Egbert Benedict, who was in Windibanks earlier in the day, is the accomplice who was present at the scene of the crime that night.
So there was someone else there. Look at those two brothers now. They're sweating buckets.
Oi, what are you talking about? It's boiling in here. My lord, it is the opinion of the defense that Mr. Egbert Benedict should be summoned to the courtroom to testify.
It would certainly seem that we can ill afford to ignore this gentleman's apparent presence.
Objection!
This has gone on long enough now, this flagrant ignorance of the mechanics of law. Herlock Sholmes, you say? Yes, I've heard the name. The protagonist in a series of short stories for the vulgar classes, a god of detection or some such. And now you employ chemical substances devised by this fantastical persona in the highest court in the land. Do you expect us to take you seriously? The samples made by this plaything are not fit to be called evidence. So the bloodstain turned a shade of green. What of it? Here's to you successfully proving that no other blood in the world would turn the same color.
Well... Ooh, we got the foot this time.
And pray, do not even think of suggesting that we should take Mr. Sholmes's word for it. Ugh.
Is he right? Is Mr. Sholmes's concoction a load of rubbish? I don't know. I mean, he is a great detective.
What are you talking about? We can't let him get away with that.
I knew it would come to this. Of course, Mr. Sholmes's invention isn't going to be recognized by any official body. But what other choice did I have?
I'm just remembering what Father Christmas over there said before. Father Christmas. About how he was temporarily suspending the summation examination. Oh, she thought he was Santa too! Holy shit, it all comes full circle. Let's go! In other words, the examination isn't over yet, is it?
Good grief! What did you just say, young girl?
And in a summation examination, the decision as to whether or not the trial continues is in the hands of the 6 jurors, isn't it?
Uh-oh. Get lawyered, bitch. Fucking 10-year-old schooled your ass. Nanako Dojima wishes she could be this swag.
So the way I see it, it doesn't matter what certain other people think of Hurley's invention. At least, not for now.
Yes, she's right.
Young lady, you have quite the devious mind.
It really just comes down to one thing. Whether these ladies and gentlemen of the jury are convinced by what you say, Bruno. Is that about right, would you say? Or did I misunderstand something?
Unbelievable. Mr. Sholmes' partner is a force to be reckoned with.
Iris Wilson, sharpshooter.
After that shrewd presses of the situation from an entirely unexpected source, it must be acknowledged that the previous summation examination is yet to reach its conclusion.
This is absurd.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the court now looks to you for your final leanings in the matter. As proud citizens of Her Majesty's Britain, I'm sure you will come to fair and just conclusions. So then, state your final decisions in turn, please.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty. Guilty.
Guilty!
Not guilty.
Oh, you fucking saved us, dude. Oh, the Russian saves us.
2 call guilty and 4 not guilty. 4 call not guilty. Such is the outcome of the summation examination.
Objection!
My lord, with all due respect, this is an outrage. The prosecution refuses to accept this decision.
On what grounds?
If these jurors are persuaded by some half-baked concoction devised by a pretender to real police work, then they are too ignorant to be trusted with the judgment of anyone's guilt.
I'm sorry, Lord Van Zeeks, but the outcome of the summation examination cannot be ignored. This trial will continue. Ah! Ah!
Hashtag got him, hashtag 10-year-old, schooled your ass, hashtag get fucked.
Nevertheless, we find ourselves in a rather awkward situation. The defense has very reasonably requested the subpoena of a new witness. But sadly, I fear that will be impossible.
What?
The name the gentleman gave for himself, Edgar Benedict, is quite clearly false.
I don't believe it. Just when I'd managed to prove the man was there that night.
Could I say something?
Who was that, please? Who spoke?
Oh, it's her.
It was me, my lord.
That's the wrong fucking voice. Jesus Christ, why did I go McGilded there? Juror number 5?
What have you to say, madam?
If possible, Inspector.
Me, ma'am?
I wonder if you might show the photographic print to me again. The one in which the gentleman is shown. That's the wrong voice too. I'm just doing whatever I fucking feel like it, to be quite honest at the moment.
Ah, right, yes, this one you mean, of Mr. Benedict.
Do you recognize the man?
Yes, there's no doubt in my mind.
Juror number 5? You don't mean to say you know this man?
Yes, I know him.
What?
No. Good gracious.
That's lucky. Glad you picked.
Order. Juror number 5, how on earth?
I am a communications officer, stop. As we can clearly see,
The gentleman in the photograph is, stop. Also a communications officer, stop. He works in my office, stop. A very talented operator, in fact, stop. He should be in the communications station now, stop. Tapping away on the telegraph, stop.
this doesn't seem right somehow. I can't put my finger on why, but it doesn't feel right.
I suppose we all imagined the accomplice would be some sort of hardened criminal. It's a bit unexpected to find out that he has a respectable job by day, whatever he gets up to at night.
Yes, I suppose that's it. I suppose that's why I felt something was wrong. I don't think so. I think the thing that immediately strikes me is, if he's at work today, why wasn't he at work yesterday?
If the gentleman is at London's communication station, we should be able to subpoena him within the hour. Lord Van Zeeks, if you please.
Yes, my lord.
Make the necessary arrangements with all haste.
As your lordship bids.
The court will recess for 1 hour. When the new witness arrives, we shall reconvene to hear the gentleman's testimony. Inspector Gregson.
Yes, my lord.
I should like to hear from you specifically about events at the pawnbrokery on the day in question. Come to my chambers during the recess.
Yes, sir, my lord.
Very well. Court is adjourned until 1:40 p.m.
Damn, straight up into a to be continued. This episode's gonna be a little short, it looks like. Oh well. That's unfortunate. So, yeah, that is gonna be it for now. We got through the first 2 parts of the trial. Don't know how many are left, but, yeah. Whew, it's been quite a ride so far. I'm absolutely looking forward to how ridiculous, because I feel like this is a roller coaster where we've gone up a few smaller hills to begin with, and then now that we're at the halfway point, we get to the giant hill. I've been on a roller coaster like that before. I don't remember where, but yeah, here at the halfway point, we finally get to the giant hill to climb up. And that's going to be dealing with this man's testimony, this man that we don't know the name of, really. So yeah, we're going to reach the top of that, and then it's going to be a wild ride on the way down, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, looking forward to it next time. If you guys liked this episode and have liked the series thus far, please feel free to subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next part when we take on this new, unknown, mysterious man who potentially is the third person at the scene. See you guys.